We found the secret resting spot of giants. Morning everybody, Mike from FisherMN here. Getting started on our day. Place might look familiar to you. Yes, we're at Favorite Lake again. But today we're going right. The last few times we've gone left. We're gonna go right and we're gonna see what we can catch. I made the long drive from Coon Rapids all the way up to here to Grand Rapids. Didn't quite beat the sun, but we're still here pretty early. We've got 64-degree water, which is pretty cool water. I did start out with the frog. I forgot to turn the camera on. I had one kind of short hit. Got what's been a pretty winning combination, black and blue chatterbait with a kind of a minnow tail. All right, I think it's gonna get a little windy today. So while we've got it, I'm gonna work the frog on the edge here. I think that it's just pretty shallow and a lot of algae right in the lily pad, so I think the edge would be the best. Got a little transition here right where the reeds kind of take over and the lily pad's cut off. There we go. Favorite Lake. Skunks out of the boat. Still in the sight of the landing. Gotta love it. I've got my board, I've got my scale. If we get something out of the ordinary today, then I think we'll measure. Otherwise, let's just have some fun and fish around this lake. There we go. That's a decent one. Oh, I don't know if I should be hoisting this guy in. All right. There we go. Favorite Lake bass. If you're ever on a lake and there's these kind of cutouts that people make to get to their docks, just the edges almost always hold a fish or two. Oh, there's the second one. Kind of an awkward hook set. Oh, nice fish. There we go. Wow, good fish. Get him back. That's two in pretty short order. Right in the opening there. Just so much fun to get a frog bass. This lake is great because you can have little action areas and you can have little bigger fish areas. So when I get a couple of bigger fish, that's when we kind of take a little more time working an area. There we go. Something's holding them in there. All right, we got some really nice ones working. Super nice fish. That guy's chunky too. He's got that big belly on him. Well, I can't resist. I gotta measure. Gotta measure this guy. For length, got 18, which is, as you've seen from my videos, kind of that standard for the favorite lake limit. Good fish. All right, kind of taking our time on this spot. That's 3 fish. Each getting a little bigger, so maybe we're onto something here. We'll treat favorite lake kind of like a new lake today. We're trying a new side. We may get back over to some of the other sides. It's been a while since I fished some of this stuff. Some of these openings here by the houses. The first one came right off kind of the edge of this. Second one was in a little further. Third one was in a little further. And man, they left no doubt they smashed it. These corners, there's a corner coming up. They're usually the ticket. That inlet was the first one we popped in on. And there's a couple more that are just like it on the way. So chatterbait and frog look like they're gonna team up. And we're gonna see what we can get. Oh, had a fish on, and the fish is off. There's another fish. Ooh, that's a better one. There we go. That's back on the board. 2 bites right in here, right where that wind is crashing in. Chunky fish. The other one felt pretty good too. Let's get a few more casts in here. Definitely working in this area here. Action, action, action. Chatterbait, power stinger with the stealth minnow. That was a nice little stop there. This edge of the reeds was holding fish. We tried a lot of the other parts with just maybe 1 or 2 fish here and there, but this one we got a bunch. We got another point coming up here. I'll fish kind of all the way up to it. We might go around it and come the correct way. Oh, there we go. Gotta pay attention here. Man, what a difference a couple hours and a different side of the lake can make. Woo! Well, that was quite a bumpy ride across. We made it. We're on a familiar shore. Let's save the day. I mean, it's been a good day of catching, but let's really make it a great day. Feels like, even though the wind is gusting pretty good. Just had to try the windier side. You know, now that we're using chatterbait and jig, although I didn't use jig over there. Just seems like you might be able to find a bunch of fish. There weren't really a bunch of fish going there. All right, we got this long stretch coming down here. came all the way down to this end of it. And my prediction is, if they're here, we're going to get about 10 of them. If not, I'm hoping for at least one 4-pounder. Let's get them. There's one hit. Come back for it. There he is. He was a hungry guy. And it's getting towards lunchtime there. Alright, there's fish number 1. Saw some kind of swirl when I threw it in there, and I think he followed it out. So kind of good to know. There we go. Is that 4th time's the charm? There's a nice chunker. 4 times. 4 times you hit. Good job. It's so much fun, and I've said it before, but when you're fishing like this, most of the time they don't get it the first time. So then you know they're there, and they're looking for the frog, and you're trying to help them find the frog. Alright, that's number 3. I just saw one surface over there. This was the guy that was hanging on the reed, and he just waited until it came back and hammered it. There we go. That looked like a better one. What in the world is going on with my reel seat? Is out again, and we're hand lining this one in. The reel seat is out. Hand lining in 17 inches, and that thing just fell out of its mouth. Gotta figure out this reel. All right, number 4 out of there. It's got that cool marking on him. Nice fish. Good to get back on the board with a great fish. I don't know why this reel seat keeps coming out, but we are gonna crank that down. All right, having fun. What a great fish. So that was, what did I say, number 4? And I've seen some splashes down that way, so nice to be out of the wind. I wanted to fish some newer areas today, and actually this is a really new area because I don't usually fish down this far in these lily pads. So far the numbers thing is working out better. The nice thing about the 4-pounder thing is it just takes one hit. All right, there we go. Another one. Fish on. Well, that's a better one. Good fish. Good fish. Shaking his head. All right, we got him on 2 hooks. All right, round football. There we go. All right, not bad, not bad. We got 7 or 8. Thought we could get 10, but not bad. All right, a nice stretch. Came all the way down, caught about 8 bass. I said I wanted action today, and that's what I got. Lots of action. Still got a little ways to go. So maybe we'll get this couple of big fish mixed in. Searching for a big one now. First time through, had a big hit. Reel came out of the reel seat and it was gone by the time we got that fixed up. Again, this thing's coming out of the reel seat. So you can't see what's happening, but this little back part is coming out of the reel seat when I'm setting the hook. Got it cranked down about as tight as I can now, so we'll see. Can't keep hand lining these bigger fish in. The little ones are easy to get in. Oy, oy, oy. There we go. That's more like it. Oh my goodness. Working for this guy, but man, what a nice fish. All right, had to work for him there in the lily pads, but finally got him to bite. What an awesome fish. Well, we are scratching out an awesome day here at Favorite Lake. Lots of fish, trying to get some big fish in the boat. And we are working for them. Either a reel comes out of the reel seat or we hook them way back in there. But that is the awesome part about fishing. It's a challenge. Had our best chances in between gusts, and right now we're in between gusts. There's something about this windy side of these lily pads. What a fish. Oh. Great fish. I don't know how many big ones can be over there, but we'll keep trying until we get them all. Man, this corner of the lily pad field is alive. I don't know if that was what we wanted. That looked kind of like a northern. Last two big ones came from right there. Well, I think we found where the bigger guys are hanging out. Man, that's 3 fish right in that same spot. Oh, he was just barely hooked. All right. That is awesome. That wind pushing in just seems to be doing the trick. Able to stand up of those last 2 fish. After I hooked them, I actually stood up to fight them. What in the world is holding them there? We found the secret resting spot of giants. Had a lot of hits. I'm gonna retie my frog, and as I'm handling this frog, You know, you've seen the hits that it's taken today, and man, these hooks are still sticky sharp. You can always tell by the ends if they kind of feel like sticky, and definitely great hooks on the Booyah Pad Crasher. All right, one more run at this little corner of the lily pads. Got the frog retied. Had the line looped around the rod from redoing the reel. We're all set. We're ready for that 5-pounder. All right, we got one of those little gaps in the wind, and every time we've gotten a big one kind of back in this corner here. Another big guy. It's what you call windy frogging. Right there. Something is holding them in there, probably some sort of food, and they are hungry and they are heavy. That's a nice fish. That is so much fun. Pays to work the whole lily pad field. That side not so much. This side hitting the jackpot. So on the other side of the lake we found some windy reeds, and we found tons of fish, but they were all small. And I wonder if they packed together or what, but these are all about the same size and they're all pretty big. Oh, there we go. Man, if he would have got away, I would have said he was the biggest of the day. Just a nice chunk. Man, they just demolished that frog. Whew. I don't know what to say. I mean, geez, this is amazing. When the wind is blowing hard, I just kind of make other casts, and when it slows down, there's a little tunnel in there. That's where most of the fish are coming from. Oh, yeah. I just let it sit there for a second while I reach to steer. Definitely the bigger guys are in here. Catching a lot out there. But there you go, another nice one, probably 16. Big old chunk. Let me know in the description, would you fish a frog in this kind of weather? This just in, it's windy still. It's a nice fish. Get the net on this guy. All right. That guy's long. Huh? 18, about 18 and a half. Man. All packed up, heading to my next leg of my trip, which is going to be in the Mille Lacs area. I'm going to fish a couple of lakes around there. I'm going to stay in that area. What a day on Favorite Lake. Little bit of a different day. I started out the day thinking I need to do something different. So I went to the right from the landing, and it was a bit of a struggle. Had one spot where I found some really good bass, and just kind of followed that side of the lake around, and fishing chatterbait and frog. Even did a little panfish fishing, but the northern stopped that pretty quick. Just couldn't get anything going on that side of the lake. So, as we all do, we got our spots. So I went to some spots that I really like, and it was windy. And obviously in the video you saw some of the wind. But I just feel like sometimes that wind will push whatever the fish are chasing in shallow. You saw in the video when we were by the reeds, if you got that chatterbait coming just the right way. But we learned something. The smaller fish were kind of grouping up. So the search was, where are the big fish? And sometimes, you know what? Just action during a day is great. I was happy with the action I had, but you know me, you watch this channel, I like to find some bigger fish. And we did. We found them by the lily pads. Not just the lily pads, probably the windiest lily pads I've ever fished. So that was pretty cool in itself. After losing a couple of fish, parts of this day could be on a blooper reel. My reel kept coming out of the reel seat, so I'm gonna have to check that out and make sure that doesn't happen, because I lost a couple of good fish because of it. But it was really rewarding to stick with it and get that frog bite going, so that we got some big fish in the boat along with a lot of fish in the boat. As usual, it's always a great day to fish around Grand Rapids, Minnesota. I really appreciate you watching this video. I'll see you on the next one.